Que pasa to the pack? It is Pack here. Today we have the last roster update of NBA 2K24. It is the 9th one of the year. This one actually was posted after the playoffs started, which I never thought they would ever do that. So this is officially the last one. They do not make one after the playoffs. What I'm going to do in today's video is talk about the biggest changes of every single team. If you like that kind of content, please join the pack and subscribe. And last thing is that I will be doing one more roster video this year, and it's going to be the roster update awards, where I'm going to talk about the biggest upgraded player, the biggest downgraded player, and many other kind of awards. If you have an award in mind, leave it in the comments so I can make it. Okay, let's get it, man. Let's go traditional. Starting off with the Philadelphia 76ers, as I always do. Paul Reed goes +1, and also campaign -1. Paul Reed, almost an 80 overall club member, is always a huge thing for a team that is trying to win a championship. Now they're down 2-0 to the Knicks, but this was made before that happened. Who knows? Maybe they'll win tonight. For the Milwaukee Bucks, Damian Lillard -1 out of the 90 overall club for the first time in his career since like he was a rookie. Bro's always been in the 90 overall club, but playoff Dame is already showing his face and probably showing us that he is a 90 overall when he's the main option. Pat Bev also goes +1. They're going to need him to be as high as possible because this team's depth is not as good as their starters. For the Chicago Bulls, we have DeMar DeRozan +1. Talk about a carry job this season. I mean, look at everybody else rating wise compared to him. DeMar did his best to get this team into the playoffs. They're not in the playoffs, but he did his part for sure. For the Cleveland Cavaliers, we have Donovan Mitchell -1. We have Darius Garland -1. Downgrades for the Cleveland Cavaliers, and yet they're doing pretty good against the Magic. Definitely would need to upgrade Donovan Mitchell after this playoff performance so far. I've always said there always needs to be one last roster update after the playoffs because it changes for real. But playoffs bring out a different kind of player, and I want to see those changes in 2K. The Boston Celtics, all season, the starters have been one of the greatest starting lineups we've ever seen rating-wise history. The bench needed help. However, Peyton Pritchard +1, almost an 80 overall club member, is already cheating. Luke Cornett also +1, and Xavier Tillman +2. Oh my gosh, the Celtics team better not lose to the Miami Heat in the first round. Like, they better not, dude. For the Clippers, James Harden -1, and then Zubac +1. 82 overall for Zubac is the highest he has ever achieved in his career. That's always a W. 85 overall is definitely the lowest James Harden has been in a long time. The Memphis Grizzlies, who essentially had a throwaway season. We have Brandon Clark +1. We have Scottie Pippen Jr. +2, and we have Jordan Goodwin also +2. Look, a good bad thing, right, is that the Grizzlies were able to fill out their youth. I mean, Gigi Jackson looks really good. Everybody's locked in for next season. Now, barring injuries or mistakes, the Grizzlies should be good next year. For the Atlanta Hawks, very small changes. First, wait, hold on. Are y'all seeing this, bro? I've never seen this, dude. Call me casual. This is a first. First off, Vit gets a +1, and then Dylan Windler also goes +1. That's it for the Hawks mid-year. The Miami Heat, we have Jaime Jaquez -1. Ends the year, rookie year, as a 78 overall is a W for him. Duncan Robinson -1, and Nikola Jovic +177. Look, if I'm Jaime Jaquez, 78 overall as a rookie, I'm pretty damn happy. For the Charlotte Hornets, Brandon Miller +1, 82 overall, one of the highest rated rookies, a successful season for him. Grant Williams +1, found a new home in Charlotte. Hopefully he can help them be a serious basketball team pretty soon. There's also rumors that JJ Redick is going to coach them, so we'll see. The Utah Jazz, we have Colin Sexton -1, Taylor Hendricks +1, and then Kenneth Lofton still finds a way to get minutes in the league +1. Everybody here, the Utah Jazz, they could be a serious threat soon. I like Keontae George a lot, one of the highest rated rookies. Let's see what Utah can do in the near future. The Sacramento Kings, -1 for Domantas Sabonis. I'm a little surprised why they don't make the playoffs, but I don't think it was his fault. Keon Ellis +2. It's really it for the Sacramento Kings that miss out on the playoffs. For the New York Knicks, Jalen Brunson +1, 93 overall is insanity. That's even higher than Carmelo Anthony's 92 overall. That is insanity. OG Anunoby -1. We have Josh Hart +1, making him the second best player on the Knicks this season is wild. Bojan Bogdanovic goes +1. He got a -3 last week, so he actually is finding some pretty good minutes in the playoffs. So let's see if we can keep that up. The Knicks look great. I mean, I don't think they're going to beat the Celtics, but they look great. Lakers, only change is Rui Hachimura +1. They're going to need to dig deep. These three right here are all going to need to find something special if they want to find a way to beat the Nuggets, because so far LeBron and AD are carrying and it's still not enough. For the Orlando Magic, Paolo Banchero +1, 88 overall. I do feel that might be a little too high, but maybe that's just me being a hater. Franz Wagner +1. We have Jalen Suggs +2. Massive upgrade from 84 overall. I remember saying at the start of the year that Suggs was one of those players that, like, it's a make or break year for you. He definitely made it. Good for him. Wendell Carter Jr. +1. All around, pretty good for the Magic. For the Dallas Mavericks, Daniel Gafford +1, 82 overall. I think this is the highest rating he's ever gotten, even better than when he was on the Wizards. So that's huge. That's a big pickup for the Mavericks, an underrated one for sure. We have Dante Exum goes -1. Still one of the better players for the Mavericks this season. Honestly, at the start of the year, when you looked at the Dallas Mavericks, you were like, bro, their players outside of Luka Doncic and Kyrie is poop. And now you see that Gafford, Lively, PJ Washington, and Dante Exum, and still having Tim Hardaway Jr. all have basically a good season. You have to be happy for the Mavericks with how this turned out at the end of the year. The Nets, we have Bridges -1 and Cam Thomas +1, making Cam Thomas tied as the best player on the Nets. What did I say? It was only a matter of time. Also, Nicholas Claxton is all tied, so it's all up in the air right now. Cam Johnson goes -1, and then Noah Clowney, one of the highest upgraded players in this roster update, +4. Let's see what the young player can do next season. The Nuggets, Peyton Watson goes +1. Now this is big because you were tied as the 6th best player on probably the NBA champs this season. Let's see. That's a huge upgrade. Indiana Pacers, TJ McConnell +1, 80 overall club member. Obi Toppin +1, 80 overall club member. If I'm Indiana, I'm happy with that. Jalen Smith goes +1. One of the players that I feel like was talked about how he was not going to succeed in the NBA. He was looking like a failure. Now to be a 78 overall on a playoff team at the end of the year, that's solid. For the Pels, injured Zion -1. This dude cannot catch a break. CJ McCollum +1, although in the playoffs he's kind of struggling. I expect this to go down. Herb Jones +1, and then Trey Murphy III +1. Mostly upgrades for the Pelicans. Pistons, one last upgrade for the Pistons for the year. Cade Cunningham +1. This team needs to figure it out soon. They have been bad for way too long. The Toronto Raptors, Emmanuel Quickley +2, making him tied as the 2nd best player on the Raptors. That's probably going to be the case next season too. Kelly Olynyk goes +1, making him a top 5 player on the Raptors. This team talent-wise doesn't look that bad. They should be able to be a playoff team next season. The Houston Rockets, we have Amen Thompson +1, now surpassing his brother by a wide margin. Cam Whitmore +1, making him a 79 overall. Honestly, this team next season is going to be dangerous. Everybody is young and getting better. Terrifying. The Spurs, Trey Jones -1 and Devontae Graham -2. Somehow Devontae Graham went even lower. Is crazy. Look, we know how good Victor Wembanyama is. If we're being completely honest, he's already a 90 overall club member. It's everybody else on this team that is just horrendous. The only bright spot here really is Devin Vassell. Everybody else, even Sohan, is kind of just mid. The Spurs are going to need to make some massive picks, trades, adjustments, and development to make this team a playoff team next season. The Phoenix Suns, Bradley Beal +1, and then Yusuf Nurkic -1. This team, we already knew starting lineup wise was great. It's everybody else, bro. I mean, O'Neal 77, Gordon 76, Eubanks 76. Bobo's not even playing. I don't know how he's still 76. This is the craziest glazing I've ever seen. This team's depth-wise is cooked. The Thunder, SGA +197 overall is insane. But he's been playing that good. The Thunder look that good. It is what it is. Jalen Williams, 86 overall +1. Josh Giddey +1. And then Aaron Wiggins +1. Upgrades all around for the Thunder. They have figured it out. They're looking like they want to compete. One of the better teams in the league, the Timberwolves, +1 for Rudy Gobert and Mike Conley +1. Another team that looks like they want to win it all. Let's see if they can beat the Nuggets in the next round if they go there, which they probably will. Portland Trail Blazers, the final bright spot for this team. Besides DeAndre Ayton's play, Scoot Henderson gets his first upgrade of the year with a +1. They need this man to figure it out next season, because if he's not as good as we think he's supposed to be, they are in trouble. The Warriors, who are probably cooked for the future. This franchise, this dynasty is Jover, probably. Klay Thompson, +1. Chris Paul, -3. Gary Payton II, +1. And Moses Moody, +1. So their younger guys are looking good. But are those younger guys good enough to make the Warriors a great team next season? They're going to need to make some kind of trade or adjustment. And finally, Jordan Poole, a +1 back to the 80 overall club for Jordan Poole. Good for him because he had a horrible year. But to stay as an 80 overall club member is at least a bright spot for the 24-year-old. We also have Tristan Vucevic, +5 at the end of the year. Bro got some minutes and showed us he can kind of play. Let's see if he can get more minutes next season. +5 for the year at the end of the year is pretty dope. Okay, that is everything. What do you guys think of the final roster update and who has the craziest rating that you disagree with? Let me know in the comments below. And if you like this channel, give it a sub. We're going to do this again next year. I'll see you guys next time.